like hearing all the amazing tales. What are you going to talk about this time?
Well, we got more. We got more stories. This book is chock full of great stories. This is Zach Ford, who wrote the book called Up. Zach, give us a story.
All right, we were talking about some intense storms during the break. One of the stories, Jason Bergman, was actually impacted by Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, okay.
He got called up to the major leagues during Hurricane Katrina. He was actually packing up his apartment, make sure everything was safe towards the end of the season. He gets called that hey, you're going to have to stop packing up your stuff. You're going to the big leagues, buddy.
That's incredible.
So he has to get his girlfriend to drive him to the ballpark to pick up all his equipment. But after he picks up his equipment, he realizes everybody else is trying to get out of the area.
Oh, yeah.
So he misses his flight. He ends up getting a flight a few hours later to Baton Rouge. And he's in a situation where, hey, I'm in Baton Rouge. My girlfriend can't get back. What do I do? So she ended up flying with him. They had a connection in Atlanta. She stayed in Atlanta. He went up to D.C. because he was on the Nationals for the one day. They were going to meet 24 hours later in Atlanta. He's exhausted, obviously, but he gets there to Washington. And he gets in the very first game.
Oh, wow.
Very first game. And not only that, but he's a relief pitcher. And then he ends up staying in the game to hit afterwards. That was kind of an intense story. He actually made contact with the ball. He ended up grounding out. But a lot of people don't realize pitchers, throughout the minor leagues and high school, college, they don't hit. So that's kind of a unique situation. All of a sudden make your major league debut and have to pick up a bat for the first time in a long time.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because in the minor leagues,
That is crazy. Okay, how about a story about somebody that called up and was only there for one day?
All right.
One day. This is a good story.
So Mike Bellafiore comes up with the 2013 Orioles. He gets called up 3 different times. He gets called up. His family's there for all 3 call-ups. Doesn't get in the game the first time, doesn't get in the game the second time. 3rd call-up towards the end of the season. He's on the bench for a few months or a few weeks. Finally gets into a game. First batter that he faces is David Ortiz of the Red Sox. Well, we could kind of guess what happens. David Ortiz takes him deep. Very first batter that he faces. That ended up being his only major league game.
Wow!
At the time, he said he was pretty upset with it, but he said, hey, a decade later, it makes for a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm telling you, Zach's book is so great. There are hundreds of these stories in there, and they're all gems, man. They're all gems. Once again, it's called Up. Zach Ford. So where can we find it?
CalledUpProject.com. There's a bunch of different ordering options there. Get on Amazon, McFarlane. Just look up Called Up online. Zach Ford. They'll pop up in a Google search.
Fantastic. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite books this year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I've read all the way through it. I was like, this is amazing. Coming up, we've got one more thing for you here. There's a museum on this property, a museum of baseball, and it is unbelievable. So stick around for that.
Okay. Hey, Code, before you go, where do you want to send the caravan next?
Have you created something like this in your backyard? Maybe not a baseball field, but do you have like a cityscape of your favorite town or something? Do you have Paris in your backyard? Let me know. Good day at KMaxTV.com. We'll come out.